What's going on, gang? Baltmatrix here, and today we are taking a look at Mastermind Creations' reformatted R-21 TITANIKA General, otherwise known as Mastermind Creations Strika. We're also going to be getting an Obsidian later this year, and I'm looking forward to that figure, but for now we've got TITANIKA. Just wanted to show you off the box real quick. Standard MMC box. The figure comes with instruction booklet and comic, so their comic book is in with the instructions, and then a sweet, sweet little bio card. The card has this incredibly nice looking artwork and toy work on it, and then it has her bio. As you can see, she's pretty darn strong, endurance, courage, firepower, skill, all the good stuff. Stats are pretty high, not the smartest tool in the shed though. Okay, let's open them up and take a look. I'm sorry, let's open her up and take a look. Oh god, that sounds worse. Out of the box, TITANIKA is this absolutely gorgeous six-wheeled armored vehicle. Very similar to her original Beast Machines counterpart, Strika. It's really, really stylish and very cool. While that original Beast Machines design was definitely unique, I think what we have here is much more cohesive, much better designed alt mode. I simply adore this alt mode. It is so good looking and so nice. The figure comes with 2 laser rifles up here on the top and 2 rocket launchers, which form her bumpers, her front bumpers, which is probably a bad idea. All of the weapons can be removed. The front bumpers simply pop off. They come off a little bit too easily for my taste. Not that big a deal though. And then the rifles are a little bit tricky to get out. They require a little bit more force to have them removed. But you end up with still a very, very svelte and, okay, maybe svelte isn't the right word, just an awesome looking vehicle mode that just makes me yearn for driving this thing through rush hour traffic. Oh, I want to do that so badly. All 6 wheels roll just fine, and actually the figure rolls phenomenally well, and it even spins well. It even spins well, which is nice. It's just such a nice feeling and looking alt mode. Oh, and I forgot to mention, this is how the figure is packaged. So my first impressions of this figure are based on the alt mode, and it is good. Each of the laser rifles are chromed and then gold tipped. The gold at the tip is flat, while the paint on the laser rifle itself is chrome. There is some bend in the barrel of the gun, and overall it looks like a good, solid, futuristic gun. And then each rocket launcher just simply pegs into the bottom and looks very neat, very cool. Though they are a little bit heavy, but that's not a problem for TITANIKA. Trust me. TITANIKA's transformation is actually very easy compared to a lot of third-party figures. To start off with, we're actually going to come to the back, take these gold pieces, and flip them around on both sides 180 degrees. Grab this little purple section in the back and unpeg it, and flip it up. Then come to the middle wheels and pop them off the sides of the vehicle mode, like so, and kind of fold them away from the vehicle mode. Then grab what was the center wheel and push it along this axis that we see, the hinge, and that will fold up and peg into place. You can see the feet are being exposed. So we just get those pegged in, and then we will take the heels, flip them out, and turn them around, and turn the gold feet so that the feet are pointing down. So do that the heels, like that. Then come to the back of the vehicle mode, straighten out the legs, unpeg the back flap, and then turn the section, the gold section that was the back bumper, so that it's pointing down, and then turn the wheels so that they are pointing forward. Then we got a boot. So do that for both sides. And then we can stand the figure up. We just form the legs. Next we come to the top of the car mode. grab the front windscreen and top of the hood, or I should say the top of the passenger section, and flip that out and around, and these will form the shoulders. Then we come to the hood of the vehicle mode, get our thumbs just to the sides of these ball joints and push up, and they will unpeg, and straighten them out, and then just put them together. Grab the front wheels, and the wheels will fold up and then connect to these, well, not connect, but touch these purple sections, and you could just fold them up against like that. Then this whole front car section will fold down and out of the way. Then there's this undercarriage from the front of the car section. You want to grab that, push it down, and this will snap into place to form the chest. And actually this snap is a little bit difficult to do because you do have to add a little bit of force to it. Fold the head forward, grab this whole section that was the front of the car, and fold it down and peg it in as the backpack. But don't forget to flip this purple section in. Now, when I showed you the car mode before, that purple section was already folded up, so I do apologize for that. I didn't realize that. That was the way that I, well, screwed that up. Then we'll come to the back section, fold it up. The purple section will flip in and peg into place. And then we can flip this whole section up and underneath and out of the way-ish. And that's the transformation into robot mode. And boy, is this robot mode good. TITANIKA's robot mode is quite nice, and I am pleasantly surprised over the quality of the figure. Overall, it is simply fantastic. The overall look and the coloring is great, and the transformation, as you saw, is a ton of fun. I'm quite smitten with this figure, and I honestly wasn't going to pick it up until my Twitter followers suggested that I do. I also asked them if it's worth picking up. There are a few flaws that are minor, but I would like to point them out, but we'll get that, we'll do that here in a minute. I just want to continue singing the praises. It holds its rifles with no problem whatsoever, though you can't really get some decent poses out of it because the stock on the rifle are, well, let's just say the stock is pretty big. Even though it does hold the rifle pretty well, getting it in its hands, or in her hands, does prove problematic. Not a huge deal. Her hands are, posability of the figure is okay. Given the bulk and the overall just size of the figure, you do run into some problems. Head swivels back and forth and does move up and down. There is a large ball joint there in the shoulder, and then a swivel connected there to the top of the shoulder. Double hinge for the elbow. Fists do articulate. Fingers move back and forth, and thumb moves in and out. There is torso articulation, but it is limited, and it is very, very tight. The way the directions have you transform this back skirt does limit the articulation, but you can unfold it and flip it out like that. So you can get some turning in here, but the torso is incredibly tight to the point where I'm worried I'm going to break the figure. Legs are not ratchets, but very tight. The legs are not ratchets, but rather swivels. The legs at the hip, at the insert, legs at the crotch are on ratchets, but the swivels on the outside or top of the hips are not for in and out movement. There is articulation at the thigh swivel, bend at the knee, and there is foot articulation and toe articulation. The heels are okay. They're not particularly strong, but thankfully the pin here is not loose. So there is enough friction here to hold the figure up without any real issue. The figure's hands have an extra gimmick where you fold the thumb down, flip the hand in, and then you can flip out these mace sections to give her kind of a mace fist motif, which is very, very cool. Unfortunately, the pin is also extremely tight, so it doesn't want to cover the fist on my figure very easily, but you can turn it so that it looks like she's about to give you a fistful of mace. I appreciate this addition. I greatly appreciate this addition to the figure. So now it's time to talk about the few flaws that the figure has. The first flaw I want to talk about are the pins that hold the upper fists or or top of hands in place. Far too tight. They are far too tight, so you can't really pull the balls over the fists without excessive force. The other issue that I have has to do with the backpack. My figure does not, well, the backpack doesn't stay connected very tightly, and this section here that is effectively her butt flap gets in the way of posing and moving quite a bit. The directions aren't particularly clear on how this is supposed to go. I'm not sure if it's supposed to go like this, fold up flush against the butt, or just sit out like that. It's not very clear. I choose to fold it up like that. That's just my choice. The other issue I have is the hands. They don't hold the rifles all that well, but when they do, they're fine. Just getting the rifles into the hands is a bit of a chore. And sometimes, if you don't line it up correctly, it doesn't work that well. So now that I've said that, I'm going to be able to get the rifles in with no problems, because of course, that's just the way things go. Other than that, other than those three fairly minor issues, the figure is quite good and is a heck of a lot of fun and definitely worth having in your collection. If you guys can, I would pick this one up. Now, after seeing Titanica, I'm really interested in their Obsidian redo, which is going to be coming later this year. Mastermind Creations has hit it out of the park. This is probably one of my favorite figures, or is going to be one of my favorite figures of 2017. I can just feel it. And here we are in January when I'm reviewing this thing. So gang, pick this one up if you can. Thank you for watching this video review of Mastermind Creations Titanica. As always, I am Baltmatrix, asking you to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you next time.